mean, like common sense would tell you, like young kids aren't always going to thrive when they're playing against grown ass adults. I think everyone can know that. So, like him bringing up the fact that there was depth, it was just the youth academy kids that we've brought up through our system, and now they're half first teamers, half second teamers, whatever it may be. Like I think that's just a little bit far fetched. Like I'll bring up this example, like 2019, like the late 2010s, FC Dallas wanted to run a bunch of their kids out there. There was a year where they put out like Pops, Paxton Pomacall. They had Jesus Ferreira, who's still there, Reggie Cannon. Like there was like their starting 11 was made up of like 90% young kids. They didn't do anything. They didn't go anywhere. Like, it was cool seeing those young kids, but they weren't winning playoff games. And so like, and the thing is too, is like Jim has given young kids opportunities. Brandon Aronson, who the heck thought that he should have played in Atlanta in 2019 in that regular season game? Giving Mark McKenzie, Austin Trusty those opportunities. Newsflash, maybe the kids right now just aren't that good enough the way you kind of look at it. Not saying that they can't be good, but for right now, for what we need in a championship window that we were just in, they were not good enough. They were not ready for that moment. And maybe that's why you didn't see him in there. Now, listen, Jim, we all know that's one of our biggest gripes with Jim. The man did not like to make a bunch of substitutions, and we all know that. But I also do think that Jim is not an idiot. I mean, there's a reason why he's two-time coach of the year. He knows talent when he sees it, and he just didn't feel like they were ready enough to go in there to play crucial minutes. And so it is interesting the way that all kind of came about.
The only thing about what you just said, and I do have to push back just a little bit because it was so recent, Ty Baribo.
But he's not a youth academy player.
I understand. I do understand what you're saying, but to the point of Jim's evaluation on players, it could be a little suspect. I mean, Ty Baribo shouldn't have been sitting for as long as he did. He should have had the chance way before, the beginning of the season to start playing. And obviously, like, maybe if he had started early on, things might have been a little different. I'm not going to say that would have been the end-all, be-all of why they would have gotten into the playoffs. But there might be a little seasoning of Jim not maybe fully understanding his talent around him. And, you could take it as a knock. You could take it as whatever. I still think what happened to Jim here was very uncalled for. I still think he should be here today.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest downfalls of Jim. Like, the Ty Baribo one definitely was not handled the right way. But when it comes to the kids in the youth academy, and this is what it was brought up because depth is a big reason why Jim's not here right now. The fact is, in crucial matches, when you're fighting for a playoff spot, it's the 60th minute, and you got to go to your bench. And what do you have there? Not much. You really don't have much. Right. So for Ernst to sit here and say that we did have something, they were just the kids. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, Ernst, you really want to throw 17, 18, 19-year-old kids in a playoff-like situation? We're fighting for our playoff lives here? I just don't see that. But yes, you're right, Frazier. Jim definitely had some faults with some of those players that we just probably won't know about. But